let's talk about something your business has in spades: data. It's a gold mine, right? But the real question is, are you actually digging into it? Today, we're going to show you exactly how to hook up your ERP system to Power BI. We're talking about turning all that raw data into insights you can actually use to transform your business. So, your ERP system, it's just overflowing with data, a real treasure trove. But let's be honest, getting that data out in a useful way, it's usually locked up in these clunky, super hard to read reports. And this quote, man, it just nails that feeling, doesn't it? All this amazing information is right there, but there's just no simple way to see what it's telling you or share it with the team. It's a classic problem. Okay, so what's the answer? It's this: ERP to BI integration. And look, this isn't just some techie fix. Think of it as a major strategic move. It's what lets you start making those smarter, data-driven decisions, the kind that actually make a difference to your bottom line. All right, so we know it's a powerful tool, but why is it such a big deal for businesses today? Let's get into the strategic imperative. The whole point here is to build a bridge. You've got all this transactional data on one side, every sale, every purchase order, and on the other side, you've got actionable intelligence. This integration is the bridge that connects them. It's about making your data stop being just a history book and start being a roadmap for what's next. Okay, this is where it gets really good. We're talking about breaking down those infamous data silos, gaining a single view of everything that's happening. Think about it. What if you could see, like right now, how a sales spike for one product is hitting your inventory? You could adjust your reorders on the fly and never run out of stock. That's the power we're talking about, connecting the dots and seeing the whole picture. All right, so we've got the why down. Now for the how. Let's talk about the different ways you can actually connect these two systems.
So here's the thing. There's no one-size-fits-all answer here. It really is like picking the right tool for the job. The best connector for you is going to depend on a few key things. Like who's your ERP vendor? Is your data on-prem or in the cloud? And maybe most importantly, how fresh does that data need to be? Minute by minute, or is daily okay?
This chart really lays it out nicely. You can see the trade-offs pretty clearly. Over here, you've got something simple like a CSV export, super easy to set up, but your data freshness, not so great. Then on the other end of the spectrum, you have something like an OData API. That'll give you real-time data, but it's gonna be a bit more work to get going. It really is a balancing act, between speed, how fresh the data is, and how complex the setup is. Okay, this table gives us a deeper dive. But how do you pick? Well, here's a pretty good rule of thumb. If you're on a modern ERP, something like Dynamics 365, you'll probably want to just use a native connector. It's usually the easiest path. But if you're working with an older or maybe a custom-built system, you'll have to get more flexible with something like Direct Database Access or ODBC. And hey, if you're wrangling a truly massive, complex data set, a data warehouse might be your best bet for keeping things running smoothly. Okay, you've got the connectivity options. Now you're probably thinking, great, but how do we actually do this? Let's walk through a blueprint for getting it done.
So, where do you even start? I know, a project like this can feel like a huge mountain to climb, but don't worry. We're gonna break it down into a really simple 3-phase plan that'll guide you the whole way.
So here are the 3 big phases. First, it's all about preparation and setting your goals, laying the groundwork. Then in phase 2, it's time to roll up your sleeves and get into the technical stuff, the actual connection and data transformation. And finally, phase 3 is the fun part, bringing your data to life with visuals and making sure it stays fresh and useful. Let me give you a key takeaway for each phase. For phase 1, before you write a single line of code, ask yourself, what business questions are we trying to answer? That focus is absolutely critical. For phase 2, you've got to get comfortable with the Power Query editor. It's your best friend for cleaning up and shaping messy data. And for phase 3, and this is a big one, don't forget to set up a refresh schedule. Otherwise, your awesome new reports will be out of date in a day.
Now, along the way, you're going to hit a few forks in the road, some really key strategic decisions. Let's look at a couple of the big ones.
Okay, this is a huge one. Import mode versus direct query. It really boils down to this: speed versus freshness. Import mode is super fast because the data is copied right into Power BI. It's perfect for, say, an executive dashboard that only needs updating once a day. But if your sales team needs to see their numbers change live throughout the day, then you're going to want direct query, which queries the ERP in real time. And we have to talk about security. When you're dealing with sensitive ERP data, think financials, HR info, security isn't just important, it's everything. You absolutely have to implement something called row-level security. This is what makes sure that people only see the data they're supposed to see. Skipping this step is, well, it's just not an option.
Okay, you've put in the work, you've made the key decisions. Now for the payoff. Let's talk about the incredible value you're about to unlock.
This right here, this is the whole ballgame. When your team can easily get the data they need, it changes everything. They're not guessing anymore. They're making smart, informed decisions. Suddenly, you're not just a company that has data, you're a company that uses data to innovate and grow. And that, my friends, is how you build a real, honest-to-goodness, data-driven culture.
Look, all that operational data in your ERP, it's telling a story. It's telling you where you're winning, where you're struggling, and where your next big opportunity is. But you can't hear that story if it's trapped in a spreadsheet. Power BI gives that data a voice. It lets you finally hear what it's been trying to tell you all along. So the only question left is, are you ready to listen?